Welcome, geometry students, to the homework help video, page 393, numbers 1 through 20. Let's go ahead and get started with numbers 1 through numbers 1 and 3. The directions for 1 and 3 say to simplify. So I have 25 pounds over 5 pounds. 5 goes into both those numbers. So my answer would be 5 over 1, or just 5. Number 3. Be very careful here, students. Actually, number 2, excuse me. Be very careful here, students. Notice I have feet and inches. It'd be a lot easier. I could say 8 inches is 8/12 of a foot. But then I've got a fraction. Within a fraction, that's going to be a pain. So instead of changing inches to feet, I'm going to change my foot to inches. So 1 foot is 12 inches. So I really have 12 over 8. 4 goes into both of those numbers. And so my reduced simplified ratio is 3/2. Okay, moving on to number 3. Okay, well, let's use some algebra here. First of all, you have one term up top, 4b, one term in the bottom, 2b. You can cross off your b's, they cancel out. And then 2 goes into both of these numbers. 2 goes into 2 once, 2 goes into 4 twice, so you're left with 2 over 1, or just 2. Alright, number 4. Now again, be careful here. You could change, if you wanted to, meters to kilometers, but you would get a fraction, okay? You would get 500 over 1,000, because 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. Okay, don't forget that. 1 kilometer equals 1,000 meters. So instead of changing meters to kilometers, I'm going to come up here and change my 1 kilometer to 1,000 meters. So now I have 1,000 meters over 500 meters. Well, cross off 2 zeros, cross off 2 zeros, 10 over 5, and that reduces to 2 over 1. Okay? Alright, moving on to numbers 5 through 8. We're going to solve each proportion. Okay? So, number 5, let's solve for b. Cross multiply. 4 times b is 4b. 3 times 2 is 6. Divide both sides by 4, and you'll get 6 over 4, which reduces to 3/2. Or you can put 1.5, or you can put 1.5. All of those are acceptable answers. Okay, number 6. 4 times x is 4x. 2 times 5 is 10. Divide both sides by 4. And you may have these for your answers. 5 over 2 is acceptable, or 2.5, or 2.5. All of those are acceptable answers. Okay, number 7. Okay, we're going to cross multiply. 6 times 2 is 12. 3 times a minus 1. 3 times a is 3a. 3 times 1 is 3. Now let's solve for a. Bring the 3 over and make it a negative 3. 12 minus 3 is 9. 9 equals 3a. Divide both sides by 3, and 3 equals a. Alright, that's for number 7. Alright, number 8. 2 times y plus 4 is 2y plus 8. 2 times y, 2 times 4. Then multiply 4 times y plus 1. 4 times y is 4y. 4 times 1 is 4. Okay? Now let's get your y's on one side. Bring your 2y over and make it a negative 2y. It's gone. Bring your 4 over and make it a negative 4. And it's gone. 8 minus 4 is 4. 4y minus 2y is 2y. Divide both sides by 2. And 2 equals y. Okay? So the answer for number 8 is 2. Pretty simple, actually, not too difficult. Now, number 9, they want us to solve for x. If you'll read the directions, it says the 2 polygons are similar. So if they're similar, then we can use ratios. 3 over 6 equals 3 corresponds with 6, as x plus 1 corresponds with 8. Alright, let's cross multiply. 6 times x plus 1 would be 6x plus 6. 3 times 8 is 24. Bring your 6 over and make it a negative 6. Minus 6 is 18 divided by 6, and x equals 3. Alright. Alright, moving on to number 10. Same thing again. The two figures are similar. 45 corresponds with x, as x corresponds with 20. X times x is x squared. 20 times 45 would be 900. Alright. Now take the square root of both sides. The square root of x squared is x, and the square root of 900, you're probably used to putting plus minus, but don't put plus minus, and here's why. We're dealing with length, and length can never be negative. And you might say, well, Mr. Earhart, how do we know we're dealing with length? Well, first of all, let me go back. The square root of x squared is x, and the square root of 900 is 30. Feel free to use a calculator there if you need to. How do I know x is a length? Because look, here's x, and it's referring to this length right here. Here's x, and it's referring to this length right here. So we don't want to use a negative number. X equals 30. Okay, these problems here are really, really challenging. So I hope you'll give me your undivided attention in the directions. They give you a congruence statement. Here it is. If you'll look in your book, you'll see it's in the directions. ABC is similar to triangle DEF. Now this is really important, students. Watch. I'm going to use these triangles a little bit, but for the most part, I'm just going to use this. AB over DE. Here's AB. Here's DE. Do they correspond? Yes, they do. So AB over DE equals AC over DF. AC over DF. That's definitely true. Everything corresponded perfectly. AB corresponds to DE. AC corresponds to DF. So yes, this is a true statement. Alright, let's take a look at number 13. Alright, number 13 says, let's see, AC over BC. Now be careful, watch this. AC, these two, over BC, these two. Now, if we're going to say AC over BC, if we're going to say AC over BC, I'm not even going to look up here. I'm going to say this. If I'm going to say AC over BC, then I better say what? If I said AC here, I better say DF here. In the bottom I have BC, so I better say EF over here. If you do that, that's totally true. Let's see if we did. AC over BC, DF over EF. Yes, this is totally true. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's take a look at number. Oh, I went 11, 13, 15. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go 11, 13, 15, and then 12, 14, 16. Let's take a look at number 15. Angle B is congruent to angle E. Now remember, when you're dealing with similar polygons, the angles are always congruent. Okay, so the question is does angle B correspond with angle E? Well, let's see. Here's angle B. Here's angle E. Yes, they correspond. So yes, they are congruent. So that is definitely true. Alright, number 12. AB, right here, over DE. Looks good so far. AB, these two right here, over DE. These two right here looks good. Now watch where they mess up. Watch where they mess up, students. You went AB over DE, and then they put EF over BC. Now watch. Does EF correspond with BC? Yes. So you would probably think this is true, but it's not. Watch. You went AB up top, DE in the bottom. So over here, you've got to put BC up top and EF in the bottom. Look, we went AB over DE. So you have to then say BC over EF, AB over DE, BC over EF, and we didn't do that. We have EF over BC. So no, this is not true. It is a false statement. Alright? Okay, moving on to number 14. 14 is a really good thinking problem. Now watch what we have here, students. We have DF over AC. So DF over AC. Do they correspond? Yes, they do. Which one went up top? DF. So DF, I'm going to put a 1 here. DF went on top. And then AC went on the bottom. So we're going to say DF equals, or DF over AC equals. Now look what they put next. Notice what's up top here, DF. So we put the perimeter of this triangle. Look, EF plus DE plus DF. So we basically have the perimeter of triangle 1 over, look, BC plus AB plus BC, BC plus AB plus AC. So we have the perimeter of triangle 1 over the perimeter of triangle 2. Well, students, that's true. We have a theorem that says the ratio of the sides of similar triangles is equal to the ratio of the perimeters. And as long as you stay consistent, we put DF over AC. DF corresponds with AC. And because DF was on top, DF, then triangle 1 has to go on top, and it does. So this is good. This is totally true. No problem with that at all. Remember, the ratio of the sides of similar triangles equals the ratio of the perimeter. Okay, and last but not least, AB equals or congruent to DE. Now hold it and stop. Think. What do we know about similar triangles or polygons? We know their angles are congruent, but their sides are proportional. Now sometimes they'll be congruent, sometimes. So you're like, Mr. Earhart, what if this is one of these times? Well, the directions say, decide whether the statement must be true or it has to be true. And no, this statement does not have to be true. Sometimes when two figures are similar, their sides are congruent. That can happen, but not always. We're not for sure. So we do not know for sure that AB is congruent to DE. What we do know is AB is proportional to DE. So false, no. Okay. Alright. Okay, let's go ahead and move on now to numbers 17 through 20. Okay. Now, let's see what we got here. You ready? Look at the one bit of information they give us. There's 48 collies, retrievers, terriers, setters, and I don't know what this is. Samoyeds at a dog show. Never heard of them. Samoyeds. There were 15 setters. Got it? 15 setters. So let's come up here. The ratio of collies to setters was 2 to 3. Collies go up top, setters in the bottom. Collies to setters. How many collies are there? Well, we know how many setters there were. 15. So 2 to 3 collies to setters equals X over 15. Remember, for every 2 collies, there's 3 setters. How many setters do I have? 15. So how many collies would I have? 10. 10 collies. How do I know that? Well, 3 times X is 3X. 2 times 15 is 30. Divide by 3 and you get 10. So now I know some more information. Now I know I have 10 what? Collies. Alright, let's continue on. The ratio of Samoyeds to collies was 4 to 5. Got it? Samoyeds, collies. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Samoyeds to collies was 4 to 5. Now, how many collies do I have? 10. The question is how many Samoyeds do I have? Well, let's see here. 8 would be the answer. 8. 5 times x is 5x. 4 times 10 is 40. Divide by 5 and you get 8. Alright, so now we know something else. Now we know there's 8 of these types of dogs right here, okay? Now, the ratio of Samoyeds to retrievers is 4 to 3. Samoyeds to retrievers, 4 to 3. How many Samoyeds do we have? 8. So put the 8 up top. Remember, it's 4 to 3. Samoyeds to retrievers. How many retrievers were at the show? So here's my retrievers right here. Alright, well the answer is going to be 6. And I know that because 4 times x is 4x. 3 times 8 is 24. Divide both sides by 4 and you get 6. Okay? Now, so now I know something else. Now I know there were 6 retrievers at the show. Okay? Now, the ratio of terriers to retrievers is 3 to 2. Okay? Terriers to retrievers. Alright. I know how many retrievers there were. I just found that out. 6. Retrievers are in the bottom. How many terriers did I have? I'll put an x there. It should be 9, but let's make sure. 2 times x is 2x. 3 times 6 is 18. Divide both sides by 2, and x equals 9. Okay? So there were 9 terriers. And by the way, how many dogs were there altogether? 48. Let's see what this adds up to. 9 plus 6 is 15. Plus 8 is 23. Plus 10 is 33. Plus your 15 setters is 48. Okay? Alright. I hope this homework help video, this mid-chapter review, has been a help to you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call or email.